about to free up so much of your time and energy on soul purpose. The spiritual community online world preaches soul purpose as something that you do, something that you become, something that you embody. This is your big mission purpose in this lifetime. But after guiding thousands of people on their soul purpose, it's actually separate into three plus parts. In this video, I'm going to break it down for you, what it means, so you're not confused ever again when it comes to soul purpose and how you can just actually align with it. And it's not that complicated. And you can find massive success once you understand these points I'm about to share with you. So what is soul purpose? Well, you have to go back to the idea of who you are, okay? Who you are and what you are. If you still think that you're a human, okay, and you are, oh, I'm spiritual, you're not getting soul purpose, because you will think that soul purpose is something that you do, right? Because in the 3D world, when people haven't awakened to who they truly are, they will think soul purpose is something that they do. But actually, when you remember your true self, which is infinite, eternal spirit, you will actually remember that the code is hidden in plain sight all this time. You're a human being. Okay? So the three ways we're going to break this down with the soul purpose. And after coaching so many people, thousands of people over the years on stepping and aligning with their soul purpose, this is the first thing that you have to understand. The first thing is that back to what I was sharing with you about human being, okay? So your soul purpose is something that will require you to be. Be what? Be who? Be my true self? Yeah, be your true self. But also be truly human. And the paradox and the cosmic joke is that you think that awakening and ascension and enlightenment is like you go off to some Shambhala land and you poof and you become like highly enlightened, and you only wear white robes and you only, like, I don't know, namaste everyone you meet, right? That's the image. But that's not true. It can be true for the people who it's true for, but the thing is, it's learning how to be fully here now, be fully human, and understanding that you are infinite, eternal spirit. Chosen, you have chosen yourself. That's why you are the chosen one. You have chosen yourself from a higher level to experience consciousness in this temporary human vessel. So what that means is that you have chosen your vessel, your storyline, and your life experiences. Okay, so a lot of the things that a lot of people can be like, well, oh, man, why did I go through that thing? Why did all these terrible things happen to me? I am a victim. Instead of going that route, okay, if you're on this channel, you know better that it's part of your story, right? It's your hero's journey. Otherwise, you have nothing to share. You have nothing to help. You would have no motivation. So being fully human is to understand that at the highest level of consciousness, the God consciousness, and even above that, is things are just is. Okay, I want to encourage you to pick up that or Google that chart by Dr. David Hawkins on the map of consciousness. A lot of people are familiar with that cone shape, right? It's like the emotional, right? But actually, there is a more comprehensive map that will tell you what is your life view, your view on life, the emotion associated with each stage, each consciousness level, and your view of God. So if you look at that chart, okay, on Google, the highest level of which is enlightenment, you will see life as is. And you will see God as self. So this is very interesting. So what this means is that at the highest level, life it just is. But you cannot experience that if you are just consciousness, when you're enlightened, consciousness. For you to have this full human experience, you begin to appreciate the emotions, the little things even the chaos of the world, because it gives life its meaning and its colors. And you're the one that gives it the meaning. So bad doesn't mean bad anymore. Good doesn't mean good anymore. And you realize that you are that creator, that person that puts the meaning into what that thing is. And why this is important? Because when you come to this awareness, your soul purpose becomes so clear to you that this human experience is literally giving you colors, right? Think about hue, right? When you edit your photos on the photo app on your iPhone or whatever phone you have, hue, you know what I mean? The hue, you can see the different color variation. For us to have a full human experience after awakening is allowing ourselves to be fully human and fully knowing that we are divine. So you will bring into whatever it is that you are in a fully committed 3D human way. Okay? If you don't, get it right now, you will. Okay? Step 2. The part 2 of the soul purpose is really knowing that because of this consciousness that you have awakened, that you are infinite eternal spirit, it's not that you think you know it, it's you know it to be true. You've gone through the awakening, and but after the awakening, it will bring you back to be fully human. Okay, sorry to break it to you, spoiler alert. It's not gonna make you like some fly, like elevating, what's it called, levitating Zen master or anything like that. It's going to make you more fully human, but without fear consciousness, without these lower density gripping onto you. Yes, you will still feel human emotions, but you know how to navigate it and override it like a wizard, okay? So your soul purpose becomes something that is literally not that profound. Sorry to break it to you. It's actually not that profound. Like, you could be a carpenter. You can still be a carpenter. Okay? You don't have to be, oh, now I'm a monk, or I'm gonna be a spiritual teacher, I'm gonna be a YouTube manifestation guru. Like, you don't have to go there if it's not your calling. You can still do exactly what you do in accounting or whatever, but with this certain level of consciousness, if that's your true path, if you really love accounting or whatever. But sometimes going on this spiritual awakening journey will break you open in a way that you realize that your true self, your soul purpose, is you coming back into your soul blueprint. And your soul blueprint is your true self, your Christ consciousness, your pure crystalline code, okay? The purest of the pure essence, okay? The good stuff, you know what I'm saying, right? So this is you knowing who you truly are and unapologetically living it and fully living it your way. Because you're gonna maybe go through this and you're like, well, it's so clear to me now that I'm going through this awakening, or after the awakening, corporate job is not for me. Working at McDonald's is not for me. I know what my destiny is. I know what I'm meant to do. And what I'm meant to do is to create this is what I love all this time. So this is going to give you that revelation, but you can only do this. You can only know your soul purpose and live it if you become so honest with yourself. And it's not something that you do. It's something that you embody, that you are. It's like you embody that essence, and naturally, whatever it is that you do, okay? And you have to not think of it as money or not money, okay? I'm going to give you in the 3 steps. If you care about money, if you want to make money with your soul purpose, you want to make a living, how it's going to support you, want to get into that in like literally a second. But for now, I want you to tap into that pure good stuff, okay? That's true God essence, that soul stuff inside of you. What did you come here to be? As in, which character, which avatar you know that you came here to be on the highest timeline. Okay, I think that's the best way to put it. I'm gonna repeat this. What is the avatar or character that you know you have chosen as infinite consciousness, spirit, having this temporary, short human experience in this lifetime? What is that character and their highest timeline? Okay, once you tune into that with literally no judgment, with literally no, oh my God, I need to think of a job title now. When you just like think of it as a very lifestyle kind of way, like very basic stuff, like how do you wake up? Where are you? You know, what kind of person are you? Do you interact with people? Do you interact with big groups? Right? How are you living day to day? You know, what's your state of being is like. Once you understand that essence, that gets carried to number 3. The number 3 thing about your soul essence, and this is something that some people can talk about, like your dharma path, or your ikigai, or something like that. And there's actually multiple ways of approaching this. The first way that most people in the spiritual community know is that it's about serving people, right? I serve the planet and its people and uplift humanity, right? Sure, okay? That can be a part of it. And then the other part is like, well, I am literally healer and this quantum, whatever person, priestess, and I'm not making money. My purpose, I feel like, is to hug people and, nurture animals and, save the planet and hug trees. And you know what I mean, right? And it's like, but I'm not making money, I'm losing money. And I'm also spending money to do these kind of activities, to save the animals, to feed them, to travel around the world and hug people and hug trees. You know what I mean? Like, whatever your sole purpose is, it doesn't mean that it's going to lead to money. You have to understand, okay? This is something, like, once you get it, like, this is going to help you understand so much about how to approach it. Your sole purpose doesn't mean that it's going to make you money. There are certain sole purposes you're going to branch off in a way that you enjoy what you do. You know that you came here to express yourself as your true pure essence, and you can earn money from that. You can receive money from it. You can, be compensated or whatever for it. Like, for example, like if you have a sole purpose that is like, let's say you're a teacher, then of course, you teach and you can have students, paying tuitions. So that's clear, right? And you have to tune into which is that. If money is important to you, then you have to branch off into a way where, okay, so this is my sole purpose, to go around the world and hug trees and, pick up shelter animal or whatever, right? You have to ask yourself, how can I begin to receive money, happy money, soul aligned money, new earth money from it? Meaning that now, if money is important to you, it's like an add-on, because your sole purpose has nothing to do with money. If you're lucky, it's clear that it's, money. Like if you love to cut hair, like, oh yeah, obviously you can be a hairdresser and you can, earn money from that. It's clear. But sometimes you have like some weird stuff that it's just really not making you money. Or you're like, oh my God, my sole purpose is literally be a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. Or, be the person who opens an orphanage and take care of like, orphans. These sole purposes require money, right? Or it doesn't require you earning money. So you have to get real with yourself of what it is, because sometimes it's an ego thing. Maybe the ego wants to make money, But what if your true soul purpose is a stay-at-home mom or dad or meant to have a charity? So you're just literally receiving money somehow, from your partner, from people who donate, you know what I mean? Like, you have to come to terms with it, because maybe you're a career woman or you're a career man. All of a sudden, you go through this awakening, you get so real with yourself, and now your ego is fighting it. And you're like, that's not my sole purpose. It can't be. But what if it is? And your ego is like, oh no, but I need a job to be a whatever member of society. That is you versus you. Okay? Your sole purpose can be your sole purpose, but that's your stuff you have to sort out. And the sole purpose, as I mentioned, is not a one thing. It's like, this one thing is my sole purpose. Just like, oh, me having these videos or sharing these videos and coaching and mentoring people is my sole purpose, one and only. To be a teacher, to be a master teacher, to be whatever. Like, that's not my sole purpose, like all encompassing. It's who I am, how I embody consciousness that flow through me, how I can express that through this human vessel that I have chosen. Like, I didn't come here in this lifetime to be, a guy with shaved head and with one colored robe and, a bowl, like to be a monk. Like, I've done that in other lifetimes. So, so when I reincarnate here, I've always had that like back of my mind, like, oh my God, I think I'm meant to be a monk. I'm meant to be a monastic. I was like really this close to becoming a monk this lifetime. And when I'll tell you guys a story, but when I consulted with my teacher, my monk teacher, and he said something to me that really like snapped me into awakening, literally. And he said, this is the last thing he said, but I'll tell you the story in another video. It's very profound. The last thing he says, like, this is your life. You have chosen it. So you're going to play it how you want to play it. He knows that this is the lifetime he came here. He wants to be a monk. Like, it's like he wants it. And everything in him, it's like, yes. And for me, my lifestyle is very monk as is. However, I know deep inside, I have chosen this avatar for a reason. I have chosen to have long hair, for a reason. I have chosen to be this, cute vessel for a reason. Because there's something that my soul wanted to have this human experience in this lifetime. So while I can still teach and guide and give Dharma talks and whatnot, but I'm going to do it this way, in this flair, in this glam, in this whatever, vibe that I wanted to express myself. So a lot of our challenge of our soul purpose is to really allowing and remembering why we came here as this character, as this vessel, as well as how we want to express the consciousness, which is, the creative energy, the life force energy that wants to come through us. And we express this in different ways. Some people through nursing, some people through accounting, some people through book writing, some people through hairdressing, some people through, channeling, some people through whatever, right? Services. And you have to ask yourself, okay, so if I decided to do this and want to make money or business and a living with it, you have to know the money and the business and the living is a separate thing, okay? It's a separate thing. It's a separate 3D skill that you need to learn. So you have a big purpose doesn't mean that all of a sudden you don't need to know how to make certain things work. There could be things like synchronicities where you're manifesting and you're aligning. Because if it's your purpose, you're meant to do it. If you say yes to it, things will align. So maybe it's not you are the one who takes care of the business, right? Maybe it's your idea or whatever. But you can magnetize a partner, a business partner who knows all the ins and outs of the business, and they can take care of that 3D part. Okay, so that's something like that can happen. So knowing that if you have the desire and if you know that you want to make money or business or make it into something that supports you, okay, financially, materially in this realm, like you're not retire and you don't need the money or whatever, right? If you know that that's what you want, then one, you can align with that support system, that synchronicities, that you will manifest donors, you will manifest the right partners, the right alignment, the right investment, the right, support, the right whatever, know-how. And at the same time, if you are going to be fully committed in this 3D, because the whole point of this human experience is being consciousness, having and mastering this 3D world. So there's no like, oh yeah, I'm so above it all, I don't need to learn how to do, business. You need some basic know-how, okay? You need to master certain 3D things. And that's where most of the spiritual people go wrong, because they absolutely reject the 3D. It's because they're not done with their awakening process yet. Because once you awaken, you realize that it just really, how do you say? It's very flat and vibrant at the same time. So once you have awakened, there's going to be this constant flatness, zenness in your energy, where you know that this world is just is. When someone, pick a fight with you, you're no longer super triggered. Or if you're triggered, it'll take you literally a couple seconds or a short time to, come back to your center, because you remember how this reality works. So that's that constant kind of Zen energy, like that is kind of this flatness. That's your peace of God has been activated once you awaken. And at the same time, you realize that you came here to be here now. You didn't come here to escape reality. You came here to live fully. So all of a sudden, nature, tree, bees, birds have different meaning to you. Like it hits you differently. You're going to begin to look at the flower for like literally 3 minutes and you're like, whoa, so beautiful. And you start crying, when you're walking, instead of just, putting on music and scrolling your phone, you don't even listen to music, or you don't even, on your phone, you're just looking at the surrounding and you're just in awe of how beautiful this 3D is, or whatever it might be. It's like you're fully in it. So why I bring this up is because there's a very sobering reality, real life effect once you fully awaken. If you want me to make a separate video, I'm happy to do that, of how you know that you really awaken to this reality. And your soul purpose is not something that you look for, because it's no longer something outside of you. Your soul purpose is just you being you. And it's not that complicated. You've always known the little things that you're attracted to, or maybe you will find the little things that you wanted to build, you wanted to create. The point is that it's not new. It doesn't have to be new. It's always installed in who you are. Like maybe you're someone who's naturally very artistic, creative. Then your soul purpose for sure has something to do with expressing that side of you. Okay. And it's not just one thing, it can be multiple things, because it doesn't matter about what you do. It's about how you do it. It's about how you express it. So I guess this is a really good way to summarize all of this. It's about how you do it. It's about what you do at all, Like, I don't even have to make these videos. I could do and make, I don't know, pillow cases. Or I could, be a florist, okay? That wouldn't be me, okay? But, example, right? Like, I could do that, but the consciousness I put when I do that, it hits different. Like my hairdresser, shout out, every time I go to Vietnam, I go to him. Like, if you walk into his hair salon, it's like a spiritual portal. Like, he is not a hairdresser, okay? He is like, we go deep into conversation about, like, all this, different realities, and we connect on a very deep soul level. It's like this intuitive, knowing and conversation that goes on when he takes care of my hair. And he has all these beautiful, like, reminders of consciousness around his hair, like, salon, because he is a deeply, spiritual being, who has understood that his soul purpose is literally, yes, help people awaken to consciousness. But how he chooses to do it is through his hair cutting services, is through his salon, and providing the experience that anyone who comes through that salon, they're gonna be reminded with whatever they're saying, or his energy, or the energy of his staff. They are so, such amazing people. So something like that. So you could literally be anything. It doesn't matter. But it's the consciousness that you experience, or you let other people experience you, that touches them in a really deep way, right? Have you ever met someone, like a stranger, that you didn't expect? Maybe the guy that gives you the newspaper, or the person that sells you gelato. And there's something about them. Like, they're so calm, they're so peaceful, and you just kind of want to be near them, and you want to talk to them. And then they just open and unlock your consciousness in some way. It's so strange, right? Let me know if you had an experience down below, or hit the like. I definitely had. True story. This lady, I think we were in Mexico at this gelato shop, and I didn't want gelato. I had some really delicious tacos, and I walk by this gelato shop, and there's something like, I need to be here. I need to walk in. And, you wouldn't expect a gelato shop to have, like, Eckhart Tolle books, the spiritual whatever book, like, for free for people to to read and experience. And inside, she was like painting, and she was sitting there so peacefully. And then I just remember her energy was so beautiful. And it's like she's a total earth angel, just making gelato for fun, selling it, having these books to awaken people's consciousness, and creating beautiful, like, mythical artwork. And I had that conversation with her, and I was like, oh my God, your energy is just gorgeous and beautiful, and this place is magical. And I was like, can I have this candle? There was this white candle, and I love that candle. And I'm like, I would love to just be reminded of your energy. I love your energy. And I'm like, I know, do you sell this candle? It's like literally a candle off the gelato, like, table. And she's like, no, but you can take it. So I still have that white candle, guys. I still have that white candle. And every time I just being reminded of that woman's energy, and how beautiful she co-created that space to express consciousness that flows through her as her soul purpose, as an expression of herself as someone who wants to help people and allow people to uncover, awakening on their own time and pace, with a nice, delicious, high quality gelato that she made, by hand with love, and, expressing her soul through beautiful arts. Like, she's a beautiful being. So I want you to slash that 3D, black and white, this or that mentality, because that's just like, oh, who are you? I'm an accountant. Who am I? I am a mom. Like, no, you are so much more than these labels. So your sole purpose is learning how to purposefully expertly, wildly, unapologetically express your infinite, multifaceted self through your beautiful human vessel in all that you do, in all that you are, in all that you be. That's the truest way that you can embody that. And it's up to you to decide, okay, money, business, whatever. All of these things is kind of like a secondary bubble with it. But the main thing is you express yourself as an awakened spirit. Okay? Let me know if you're vibing with this. I want to know your thoughts and your experience with your own awakening journey and your soul purpose, and how this has maybe sparked something in you. Give me a like if this is helpful and you want more of it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out this video.